October 28th, 2022, 11:14 p.m. A doorbell camera at a vacation rental property in Asheville, North Carolina, captured a seemingly ordinary moment. A 26-year-old woman dragging her suitcase up a cobblestone path, smiling at her phone as she read the check-in instructions. She had no idea she was being watched, and she had no idea that the man watching her through hidden cameras inside that house had been waiting for exactly this moment for over 3 years. What happened in the next few hours would expose a predator hiding behind 5-star reviews, reveal a pattern of crime stretching across 6 properties and 3 states, and prove that sometimes the safest looking place is the most dangerous one of all. Because the person who killed Ashley Green that night wasn't a stranger lurking in the shadows. He was Daniel Park, 38, Airbnb Superhost, rated 4.98 stars, 200 glowing reviews. The kind of host guest described as thoughtful, attentive, and detail-oriented. This is the story of how a man used the world's most trusted hospitality platform to hunt women, and how one guest's disappearance finally unraveled a web of crimes that had been hiding in plain sight for years. Earlier that day, Ashley Green had done what millions of solo travelers do every weekend. She'd packed a bag, loaded her GPS, and driven 3 hours from Charlotte to Asheville for a solo birthday trip. She was turning 27 in 2 days. She'd planned this weekend for months: a cozy cabin, mountain air, hiking trails, and 2 days completely to herself. Ashley worked as a pediatric nurse at Carolina's Medical Center. Her colleagues described her as calm under pressure, the kind of person who remembered every patient's name and brought homemade cookies to every night shift. She was the youngest of 4 siblings, adored by her parents, and fiercely independent. She'd used Airbnb dozens of times. She knew the safety rules. She shared her location with her older sister, Dana. She photographed her rental car's license plate and sent it to 3 friends. She texted her mother when she arrived. She did everything right. At 7:30 that morning, Ashley posted to Instagram a photo of her packed overnight bag beside a coffee mug. The caption read, "Solo birthday adventure. Mountains, here I come." It received 94 likes. It was the last post Ashley Green would ever make. She arrived at the property at 11:09 p.m., later than planned after stopping for dinner. Security footage from a gas station 3 miles away shows her pulling in at 10:47 p.m. She purchased a bottle of water and a chocolate bar. She was smiling. She looked excited. She looked normal. At 11:14 p.m., the property's doorbell camera captured Ashley walking up the path. She checked in using the digital lockbox code Daniel Park had texted her that afternoon. The door opened. She stepped inside. Ashley Green checked into that Airbnb at 11:14 p.m. on October 28th, 2022. She would never check out. Daniel Park had purchased his first Airbnb property in March 2019, a 2-bedroom cottage in Asheville's historic district. Within 3 months, he had a 5-star rating and a waiting list of guests. On paper, Daniel was the ideal Airbnb host. He responded to messages within minutes. He left handwritten welcome notes. He stocked the kitchen with locally sourced snacks. He provided detailed guides to local restaurants and hiking trails. His reviews were extraordinary. Guests used words like magical, perfect, and the best Airbnb experience of my life. By 2022, Daniel owned 6 properties across North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia, all highly rated, all consistently booked. He'd earned Superhost status within his first year and maintained it ever since. But what guests couldn't see were the cameras. Not the disclosed cameras that Airbnb requires hosts to reveal. Those were there too, covering the front door and driveway. But behind those legitimate cameras were others, hidden in smoke detectors, embedded in clock radios, concealed inside decorative wall vents. Tiny lenses pointed at beds, bathrooms, dressing areas, positioned to capture everything. Daniel had installed hidden cameras in all 6 of his properties. He'd been recording guests for over 3 years. Thousands of hours of footage. Hundreds of guests. He had a dedicated server in his home that stored everything, organized by date, by property, by guest name. He had something else too. A list, a document on his personal laptop titled, simply, Candidates. It contained the names and booking details of female guests traveling alone, guests who'd booked for a single night, guests who'd mentioned in their messages that they were celebrating something. Birthdays, breakups, new beginnings. Ashley Green had booked a single night. She'd mentioned in her message to Daniel that she was treating herself to a solo birthday trip. She'd asked if there were good hiking trails nearby. Daniel had responded warmly. He'd recommended 3 trails. He'd left a birthday card on the kitchen counter with a small box of locally made chocolates, and he'd added her name to the list. Ashley was number 11. 2 previous women on that list had disappeared. Their cases were still unsolved. They had never been connected to each other or to Daniel Park until now. Dana Green, Ashley's older sister, started to worry at 8 a.m. on October 29th. Ashley had promised a text when she woke up. By 9 a.m., nothing. Dana called. No answer. She texted. No response. She checked the location sharing app they both used. Ashley's phone hadn't moved since 11:22 p.m. the previous night. That was strange. Ashley was an early riser. She'd planned to be on the trail by 7 a.m. By 10 a.m., Dana called Ashley's phone again. Voicemail. She called twice more. Voicemail both times. She texted Ashley's friend group. Nobody had heard from her. At 11:30 a.m., Dana called the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. She reported her sister missing. She explained that Ashley had checked into an Airbnb the night before and hadn't been heard from since. The deputy took down the information and promised to send someone to check on the property. A patrol car arrived at Daniel Park's Asheville cottage at 12:47 p.m. The deputy knocked on the door. No answer. He walked around the property. Ashley's rental car was parked in the driveway. That was concerning. If Ashley had gone hiking, she would have driven. The deputy contacted Daniel Park. Daniel answered immediately. He was cooperative and concerned. He told the deputy he hadn't been at the property that morning. He said he never disturbed guests. He provided the lockbox code so the deputy could enter. The deputy stepped inside. The house was clean. Perfectly clean. The welcome note Daniel had left was still on the kitchen counter. The birthday chocolates were untouched. Ashley's overnight bag was open on the bedroom floor. Her toiletries were arranged on the bathroom counter. Her hiking boots were by the front door. Her phone charger was plugged into the wall beside the bed. Everything was there. Everything except Ashley. The deputy called for backup. By 2 p.m., 6 officers were searching the property and surrounding area. By 3:30 p.m., Detective Lisa Monroe had taken command of the investigation. Detective Monroe was 44 years old, a 17-year veteran of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. She'd worked missing persons cases, domestic violence cases, homicides. She'd learned to trust her instincts, and her instincts told her something was deeply wrong. Everything she owns is here, Monroe told her partner. Her car, her phone charger, her hiking boots. Women don't disappear on birthday trips and leave their boots behind. Monroe requested all security footage from the property. The doorbell camera showed Ashley arriving at 11:14 p.m. It showed nothing after that until the patrol car arrived at 12:47 p.m. the following afternoon. No one had entered or exited through the front door. Monroe reviewed the camera placement. Front door, driveway, disclosed locations per Airbnb policy. But there was something bothering her. Something she couldn't immediately identify. She walked through the property again slowly. Kitchen, living room, bedroom, bathroom. In the bathroom she stopped. There was a small vent cover on the wall above the mirror. Standard enough. But something about it looked slightly off. The screws were newer than the surrounding fixture. Monroe called in the forensic team. At 5:15 p.m., a technician removed the vent cover. Behind it was a small wireless camera, lens pointing directly at the bathroom. Monroe felt her stomach turn. "Check everything," she said. "Every room, every fixture, every device." Over the next 2 hours, the forensic team found 4 more hidden cameras. One in the bedroom smoke detector, one embedded in the alarm clock, one inside a decorative picture frame in the living room, one above the front door, angled inward, not outward. Daniel Park had been watching Ashley from the moment she walked through the door. Monroe immediately requested a warrant for Daniel Park's arrest and the search of his home and all other Airbnb properties. Daniel Park was taken into custody at 8:30 p.m. on October 29th. He was at home, 20 miles from the Asheville cottage. He appeared calm, almost too calm. He expressed concern for Ashley. He said he had no idea what could have happened. He offered to help in any way he could. But when detectives arrived at Daniel's home with a search warrant, the calm evaporated. In his home office, investigators found the dedicated server, thousands of hours of footage from 6 properties across 3 states. Footage of guests in bedrooms, bathrooms, dressing areas. Footage no guest had ever consented to. Footage that violated every one of them. They found the laptop with the document titled Candidates, 11 names, detailed notes beside each one, booking dates, lengths of stay, whether they were traveling alone, personal details gleaned from message conversations. Beside 2 names, there was a single word written in red. Done. Ashley Green's name was on the list. Beside her name, nothing yet. Just her booking details and the words, solo birthday, single night. No one expecting her until tomorrow. Investigators contacted Airbnb. The company provided booking records for all 6 properties. They cross-referenced the 2 names marked done with missing persons databases. The first name matched. Jennifer Cho, 24, reported missing in March 2021 after a solo trip to Daniel's Knoxville, Tennessee property. Her case had been open for 18 months. No suspects. No leads. The second name matched. Rachel Torres, 28, reported missing in August 2022 after booking Daniel's property in Roanoke, Virginia. Her family had been searching for 2 months. No answers. 2 missing women. Both had stayed at Daniel Park's properties. Both had stayed alone. Both had disappeared without a trace. Detective Monroe coordinated immediately with investigators in Tennessee and Virginia. Within 24 hours, a multi-state task force had been assembled. Federal agents from the FBI's Violent Crimes Division joined the investigation. But Ashley Green was still missing, and Daniel Park still wasn't talking. The search expanded across all 6 properties. K-9 units swept every location. Ground-penetrating radar scanned the property's grounds. Divers searched a nearby lake that Daniel owned access to through one of his properties. On November 3rd, 6 days after Ashley disappeared, a K-9 unit alerted to a location on the grounds of Daniel's most remote property, a secluded cabin in the mountains outside Boone, North Carolina. The property wasn't currently listed on Airbnb. Daniel had told the platform it was under renovation. Investigators excavated the area. 3 feet below the surface, they found human remains. DNA testing confirmed the remains were Ashley Green. She had been dead since the night of October 28th. The medical examiner determined cause of death was strangulation. She had been killed within hours of checking in. Investigators continued excavating the property. They found 2 more sets of remains. Jennifer Cho, Rachel Torres, both buried on the same property. Both had been there for months. Daniel Park had been killing women who stayed at his properties. He'd been getting away with it for nearly 2 years. 3 victims, 3 families who had no idea what had happened to their daughters. The interrogation of Daniel Park lasted 14 hours over 3 days. He initially denied everything. Then he acknowledged the cameras, but claimed they were for security purposes. Then he acknowledged the list, but claimed it was just notes he kept about guests. When investigators confronted him with the DNA evidence, with the bodies found on his property, with the server containing thousands of hours of illegal footage, Daniel Park's story finally changed. He confessed. Not fully, not completely, but enough. He admitted to killing Ashley Green. He admitted to killing Jennifer Cho and Rachel Torres. He claimed each death was unplanned, the result of encounters that escalated. He showed no remorse. Daniel Park was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 6 counts of illegal surveillance, 3 counts of kidnapping, and multiple counts of invasion of privacy affecting hundreds of former guests. His trial began in September 2023. The evidence was overwhelming. The hidden cameras, the server, the list, the DNA, his own partial confession. Daniel Park was sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. He will die in prison. He showed no emotion when the sentence was read. He stared straight ahead. He said nothing. Daniel Park is currently incarcerated at a maximum security facility in North Carolina. He has given no interviews. He has shown no remorse. He serves his sentence in silence. His 6 Airbnb properties have all been sold. The Asheville cottage where Ashley died was purchased by a developer and demolished. A small memorial plaque was placed at the site by Ashley's family. Pay attention the next time you check into a rental property. Pay attention to smoke detectors that look slightly off. Clock radios that seem newer than the rest of the furnishings. Vents that have been recently disturbed. Pay attention to your instincts. Ashley Green walked into that cottage believing she was safe. She had done everything right. She had checked the reviews. She had shared her location. She had trusted a system designed to protect her. That trust cost her everything. That is the legacy of Ashley Green. Not the way she died, but the changes her death set in motion. The legislation, the safety protocols, the awareness that danger can hide behind 5 stars and a handwritten welcome note. Ashley Green deserved better. All guests deserve better. And it is our responsibility to make sure they get it.